Hello everyone, welcome to Daniel's room, and today we have Jonathan Koh with us. Really excellent guitar player, singer, songwriter, and I mentioned in one of my Facebook posts, like arguably one of the best guitarists in the region in Singapore. So we are glad to have him here today because he's really busy, and so we're glad he's here. So let's start by talking about your background, your history.
Well, I'm not used to talking to you like that. Okay.
So maybe just give us background of how you got started playing guitar. What attracted you to the guitar in the first place? Was it electric, acoustic, and then basically your influences, and just basically how it got started, because everyone has a different.
Yeah, I think basically I started guitar when I was in secondary school. Saw this cool dude, playing the nylon string guitar, playing this song "Sandman" by America.
Yeah. On nylon string.
On nylon string. So I thought it was pretty cool. Then I started taking up lessons. Then pestered my dad to buy me a guitar, and I learned the guitar by myself.
Okay.
After they use those books behind, and then they have like chords. So that's how I started. And then it's just snowballed from there because I got a real cheap guitar that my dad bought, and then I managed to save up some money after I started work after secondary 4, and then got myself a decent guitar. Then that's how I started. Went to rehearsals, band studios and all that.
Okay, so your first guitar was also a nylon string? Or was it?
No, it was a steel string, and the action was so high.
Yeah.
It has a coconut printer on the side. Yeah, so it was really hard to play, but I think where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when you started, then you had bands. Is it to join bands?
Well, we had a group of guys, a group of friends, close friends. So we used to jam in the studio near Specialty Center. Now the Specialty Center is so different from back in 1970. We're talking about 74 or 75. But then there were like two-story houses, and then there was
Specialty Center doesn't exist anymore.
Really?
Right. It's become is it Somerset or is it 313, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not even.
I haven't been down to Orchard for a long time.
Yeah, it's not even there anymore.
Yeah,
but I do remember the shop houses.
Yeah. There's a studio called PE Studio.
Oh.
So we used to hang around there.
So it's a physical education.
No.
Okay.
Mark me, I cannot see any. It's a good studio. It's a good studio. Then,
so it's a jamming studio.
Yeah, we used to have guys from Sweet Charity and all those Malay rock bands, and they will blow me away because they'll be like having this Les Paul and this old Marshall, and they were like, wow, I want to be like them, but can't play for shit. Sorry, pardon my French. Can't play for nuts, and was really quite frustrated. So I tried. Yeah. And I think one day the band decided to attempt Hotel California.
Okay.
So being adventurous, I tried. So we had the drummer had a brother who's a bartender who plays the keyboard. And then after this session that we attempted Hotel California, we were out, and he came up to me and says, "John, you're the worst guitarist I ever had." Oh. Yeah, that really got me. It got me right here. So I actually was kind of sad and.
But you were playing electric guitar by then.
Yeah. I was trying to play electric guitar, so was singing at the same time. But that really got me. So I went back and what the Chinese say, 苦练. So we used to have vinyl records, right? Not like cassettes or CDs. So I would just skip the needle, trying to nail that solo, and I nailed it. And then it's about a month or 2 months later when I went back to the studio with that guy, and he came out to see, well, then he nailed it. So that's how I improved actually. That was a turning point.
Okay, John. So maybe tell us about how was it like working with bands, I think when you were starting out in the 80s, right? Yeah. You were playing in clubs and you were English bands, and I think you went on to play with a canto band as well.
Yeah, so I actually started out really simple, playing in this hotel called Dynasty, which is called Marriott, simple lounge band. And after that, I went on to play in clubs in Rainbow, and there was this place called Top 10 and Park Avenue or what? Peppermint Park. Atlantis. So these are all the big clubs, major clubs in
Singapore. Right? Yeah.
Right. So well, we in the Rainbow was really interesting because you get to meet a lot of American bands, British bands, Filipino bands, and back then they were really good. They will come in like 6-piece, 7-piece, some with horn section, with the moves and everything. We even had Shaka Khan coming at one time in top 10. It was a great learning experience because I was young then, and just wanted to learn and absorb what we can from there. And after that, the money beckons, the dough beckons. So we went to play in a Canton Pop band. So we formed this band called Typhoon, which incidentally you were part of Typhoon. You were like what
So I think John, you're not you're actually the founding member, one of the founding members of the band, and I was I think the 4th guitarist along the way, and they're up to I think the 7th guitarist now. Because the band is still around and they're still making good music, So
great band,
good band, very good band, It was good. I enjoyed myself when I was there for 3 years.
Yeah. The founding members consist of me, Sam Chan. He's now a kind of movie producer in Beijing right now. So he kind of left Singapore. And then there was Ronnie on drums and Mitch on keyboards, which I think was still playing with you guys.
No, when I played, Mitch left. Ronnie is the only actual original member left who's still in the band right now.
And Peter Koh.
Yeah, Peter Koh. And
we said he passed away a couple of years ago.
Really good guy. And Peter Koh was a sound engineer as well, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was doing a lot of sound.
Yeah, he was doing live sound for a while.
Right.
So after the Typhoon, we kind of like that's why we cut our album, our first album.
Okay. And so was that how you actually got into the studio scene doing recording?
Yeah. It was in a studio where I first met great engineers like Richard Goh and Shah Tahir, who's an incredible guitarist.
Yeah.
So he was my mentor. I learned a lot from him. So I was so interested in this whole recording process that I really wanted to be a studio musician as well as a studio engineer, which I took up later on. And well, after that, I just kind of quit the whole night scene because I was married then, so wanted to start a family, so I wanted a decent life. Yeah. And things got a bit complicated in the club, so I went to apply for a job as an engineer, which I got. And my teacher back then, or mentor, was Vincent Lim. Vincent Lim used to record Anita Sarawak, Tracy Wang, Tony Terry, old albums 10 years back then. So I learned from the best, and that's how I got into the recording thing. I worked as an engineer for 3 years. At the same time, I was playing recording sessions. Right. And that's where I want to talk about the late Iskandar Ismail. He's such a pivoting point for my life, as a musician, because we used to play together in Top 10, and then he used to do a lot of albums back then for the Malay artists. So one night he came out to Rainbow and he asked me whether I wanted to do a session for him on Saturday. So I went out to the old Lion studio, Hologram, and was with Jimmy Lee and Din Safari. So we did a rhythm track for a Malay artist, and that was my first session. And subsequently after that, I was called for more sessions.
Actually, on the add also, I think Iskandar really helped out a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Even myself, it's very common. It's a very similar situation. I was playing the Thompson Big Band, right? I was just playing one day, and then he came around, and then just was, I guess, he was doing his thing, right? How's everybody, kind of thing. And he was looking, and the same thing right after the whole rehearsal and everything, he quietly came up to me and said, Daniel, I've got a musical coming up, what do you want to play? So it's always helping a lot of, I think, people get into the scene, looking out for a lot of younger players. I think he's, even after that, I still see him doing that.
He never stops.
He never stops, So he's a great guy. He has a really good heart,
He was one of those, in fact, he was the one who told me not to be late for anything. Especially for a session. So he actually gave me a good ticking off once when I was late in the studio.
He's very much he's very strong on discipline and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's how it was. Back then, this couple of guys, Ricky Ho, Iskandar, and Belinda Fu, they used to work in this company called Music Syndicate. And they used to do a lot of recordings for Taiwanese artists. So I used to do a lot of sessions for them. So it was like almost a weekly thing. And then, but then at the same time, I was working as an engineer. And then there were a lot of Taiwanese producers that came down to Singapore to record. there's one thing about Singapore which I want to add, just to give a bit of encouragement to the local musicians. Singapore has a very unique, um, very unique musicians in such a way because we're metropolitan, so we listen to a whole bunch of sorts of music, right? So I think the Taiwanese saw that and really wanted to cap on it. So they were down back in the late 80s to the late 90s, and they were using predominantly a lot of Singapore musicians for recordings.
Okay, and when did you start writing songs as well, right? Because you've written a lot of beautiful songs and a lot of hits actually for a lot of these Chinese artists.
Yeah.
When did it start?
The writing actually started really early. To tell frankly, I was more of a songwriter than a musician. So I started writing back when I was like in the army. I wrote my first song in the army. So then they wanted songs, so I started writing some for local companies, and then after that for Taiwanese, and then I signed on with A-mei, and then before at first because of Jie Tuo. And after that, they started asking for my songs, and I started writing for A-mei, and then right now I'm with Universal.
Okay. Yeah. You do write a lot of beautiful songs. So how did those develop? As in, did you have? I guess you learned a lot of songs when you were learning guitar.
Yeah.
And all that. So
some of the stuff that I taught, songwriting before, and I think one of the things that I teach is that you need to listen to a whole lot of music. And like I mentioned earlier on, that Singapore being a metropolitan city, we listen to all sorts of music. So I grew up listening to songs from musicals like South Pacific, Oklahoma, and all that, to wonderful orchestral music. My dad used to love Hawaiian music, so I listened to Hawaiian music, country western, and rock. As I was growing up, punk, then to pop and disco, and to jazz. Not really hardcore jazz, but mainstream jazz. So we listen to a lot of music, and I think that's the way we should go. I think you too. You have wonderful CD collection. I think that's the way to go, and it kind of influenced you to come out with melodies of your own. Yeah, that's what I did. So basically, that's how I started.
Okay, maybe we can after this we can play Jie Tuo together.
Jie Tuo?
Yes. We'll try.
Am I getting paid for this? No, I guess not.
No.
Anyway, just to tell you about Jie Tuo. You know how I wrote that song?
How?
Okay, I was doing an album for Eric Moo in Hong Kong. It was raining in Hong Kong, right? So I wanted to get out and buy stuff shopping, but then it was raining, so I cooped out in my room. And I got a call from a good producer friend of mine called Paula, Ma Yifan, who was producing A-mei at the time. I didn't know who was A-mei. I just said, this girl who can really sing. I said, okay, cool. So can you write me a song? I said, okay. So I was cooped up in this room, so I took out my guitar and wrote a song, I think in 15 minutes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and it was basically all la 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 la. There's no lyrics in it. And back then, you don't have email, so you send it on a cassette tape, and you send it by FedEx Express. So 2 weeks passed, and then I got this call from Paula saying, "Hey, John, you want to listen to what she sang?" And I listened. I was blown away because he said, "Wow, that was a demo that I sent."
Okay, so same thing. Someone had actually written Mandarin lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
To your melody, right?
To my melody.
Yeah,
so the English lyrics, or rather the English title of the song is "She's Gone," was written after the fact.
Okay.
It's basically for the concert that was recorded.
Right. I always thought that you wrote English lyrics and then...
Yeah. Well, some of the songs I do. Most of the songs
only for Jie Tuo.
Only for Jie Tuo. I didn't do it. Because it was such a rush thing. So
that's interesting for those who who love the song. That's very interesting history for you guys.
Everywhere I go, everywhere I turn, I can see your face each time I burn. Every time it rains, each time it pours. I can hear your voice everywhere I go. And time, it heals every pain. That's what they say. And I would give anything to make you come back to stay. She's gone, I didn't know it was so long. If I could feel her in my heart, I'll sit here alone. The days will go on and on. She's gone, I didn't know it was so long. If I can feel her in my arms, I'll sit here alone. The days will go on and on. I know that I need her in everything I do. But goodbye is not the word I need to hear. She's gone, I didn't know it was so long. If I can feel her in my arms, I'll sit here alone. The days will be long, so long. She's gone, I didn't know it was so long. If I can feel her in my arms, I'll sit here alone. The days will go on and on. Oh no. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone. Yeah.
So maybe now we can talk about some of the equipment that you use, because we play a lot together often. So I'm always curious. I always look, see what is he playing, what's his patches.
Yeah, we're not coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see like
Yeah.
no coffee, for example. I'm always curious about what you do. So maybe you can explain the kind of equipment that you use.
I tend to use guitars that are not so expensive. Yeah, because I'm actually looking, not in looks anyway, aesthetics wise. I'm not really into that. I'm more into the neck and how the neck feels in my hands. Because I got weird hands, I got long fingers. So it's really important for me. Because once the neck is like too hard for me to play, then no matter how
So you
hard
have a preference for actually larger necks, like, in a way?
I don't know. It's weird because I have a look.
Because it's a small neck, right?
Yeah,
it's a small V neck.
Yeah. So I'm comfortable with that. And at the same time, I'm comfortable with my Les Paul, my Tokai 335. So they have a bit more bulk in the neck. The Telecaster that I have also has a bit of a, but it just doesn't really matter about the size, just how it feels on my fingers.
Okay, so can we safely say that a lot of times once you have the instrument in your hand, basically you are listening out to the song and trying to figure out how best to maybe express what the song needs with the instrument, rather than saying, okay, I must have a strat for this, I must have...
Yeah. I mean, it depends, because when I do sessions, back in the days in the 90s, we used to carry guitars and down to the studio, like 4 or 5 guitars.
Yeah. Okay.
But now I predominantly record at home, so I have the guitars that I have at home. So we listen to the song. So if the song calls for a normal guitar sound, then it's cool. But if the song calls for more wilder stuff, then that's where my bar will come in, my strat will come in. And it's a whole lot of stuff. I mean, it's the way you interpret a piece of
Right.
music. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And I guess the effects play a big chunk of it because again, I'm not into boutique pedals and stuff like that. You know, I know guys who are into boutique pedals. That's cool, but I'm really not into that. Although I was brought up that way. You know,
Right.
I think like you, I was brought up in the cheap. Well, not really cheap now. The Boss pedals and the Ibanez pedals.
Everyone starts on those, right? Those little, and you buy. A lot of times, I bought my first two used actually because that's all I could afford.
I bought it off first hand because I was playing a club deck. And it was cheap. You know, so you used to have this, silver case for the Boss.
That's the BCB.
Yeah. I used to overrun it, so I had to carry some more pedals to put on top. It was such a pain. But that's how it started. Yeah, and I guess right now the thing that is lacking in young musicians is this whole process of playing with real pedals and real amps. And the whole signal chain and how an amp works, transistor opposed to tubes and
now everything is on the screen and just but I don't think they actually know how it feels like to have played for a real tube mic sometimes.
Exactly.
So, there are some youngsters who are into that.
There are. Obviously there are.
But not a lot. I think it applies also to even with things like Pro Tools, everything is great. But I think we went through, at least for me also, I kind of caught the tail end of the recording session thing when people were still using tape at like late 90s. So I kind of did see the process going from tape, onto Pro Tools, and now it's like...
I went through all that process from quarter inch, 2 inch to DATs, to ADATs, to the PCMs and all that. But I guess the technology is better right now. But again, as a guitarist, as a musician, you need to know a little bit of history where everything starts from. And I've seen guys who buys like the Line 6 stuff, like the X3 or whatever you guys are using right now, and selling it like a week later because they couldn't get the sound they wanted. Because they don't understand that unit is actually an amp simulator, it's an effect simulator. It simulates how an amp works, so it tweaks the same way as an amp. So my advice is, if you have it, don't sell it so fast. Spend a bit of time on it and don't waste your money.
I think maybe they need some patience to sit down, figure out. I mean, okay, I'm a very manual person. Every time I buy a piece of gear, first thing I do is I open a manual. It's very geeky, I know, but that's what I do. I need to know the A to Z of where everything goes. So that's me. But if you don't do that, even then you should just at least spend 2-3 weeks at least on your multi-effects, go through the pages, find the architecture of how the thing works.
It's a good thing that me and Daniel, we kind of like have the same perception of the sound that we want. So our tones are actually quite similar in a way. Me and Rex too, Rex Go, and some of the other players that I play with. But there are some players who are really great players who have a totally sound preference. So it's cool. There's nothing bad about it.
By the way, Rex Go was one of the reasons why I started learning guitar.
I see. There you go.
That's the topic for another day. Okay, great. Maybe now we can talk about what future plans you have. Because you have done so much actually. In this.
Well, I spent 3 decades in this line, in this industry. Basically, I think I went through everything, from being a musician in a band to engineer to producing to songwriter. To tell you frankly, because I'm a believer now, I believe in my Lord Jesus Christ, so I have no plans. I mean, it's a bit shocking to a lot of people, but I gave up planning because I could make all sorts of plans, but I always fall flat on my face. I could plan to have to do this, do that, and somehow it would just not work out. So I just leave it to my Lord and see what happens. I think that's more exciting in a way. Some people may argue that it's like copying out, like your idol. Well, I have 3 kids, and 2 dogs, and it's not copying out because I need to know my finances and all that. I do worry, but
you do have a wife too.
Oh yeah, forget about her. I have a wife. And I used to have depression. I was depressed back in 1980 something. So I didn't want it to happen again. because too much stress and.
But how? Okay, can we just how did you get out of the depression? Was that something that?
It was divine intervention.
Okay,
it's,
that's great,
it's from God, and the help is from God. It's how I know. It's how I connected with God again, and He kind of lifted me up from depression. My advice to musicians, especially when you're starting out, is if you really think about it, and this is what you want to do, then don't give up. Just persevere. It could be hard. It could be hard, but then if you love what you're doing, then just go out for it, because nothing beats a career that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's not even work. It's like me and Daniel, we tour around playing guitar, for a living, So the only working part is when we travel, is when we are transiting in flights. That's the tiring part.
Yeah.
The playing, the sound check, cool. I mean, I heard guys who complain about sound check and how long they spend in sound check and all that. But for me, I think it's cool.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I think you might feel the same way. I actually enjoy rehearsals and sound checks. Because we're there playing again and again. We just enjoy playing. Both me and John.
Yeah.
So, So, but like I said, I think work on the craft, work hard. Work on your discipline as well, and that's very important. I think. We end off with another fusion. Well, I guess it's kind of a smooth jazz thing we just wrote actually, as we came in here this morning. So let's do that, and then I would like to thank John for being here today. Really appreciate his time, because,
thank you for your kopi bola. Thank you for your your limited supply of coffee.
I'll give you another cup in a while. but thanks. So we thank John for coming here today, and again we thank Steve, Mint, and Colin for all your hard work. And again, practice hard, and then like John says, keep your passion, and then let your dreams come true. Okay, God bless. Okay, see you next time.